I'm Tim.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome back to TW Bricks. So, Mark, I know you're not a big set guy, but you have mentioned before that you are starting to appreciate them more, correct? Okay.
Yes.
What's your take on the new sets coming out?
They're looking really good. And I'm a pretty harsh critic of Lego sets. I actually just posted a quick reel on my Instagram of like, look at this set, and I just threw it in the junk pile. So that's my usual take on Lego. But a lot of them looking forward are looking pretty fabulous. I know that there's been a lot of pictures online about this, but the Viking Creator 3-in-1 set,
right?
I'm gonna have to get at least 2 or 3 of those because they're
phenomenal.
so cool, and I love Vikings. So there's a bunch of really nice sets coming out of and even like Marvel and other themes. It's like. And like Star Wars, I'm gonna be really broke this summer. So.
You mentioned Star Wars. What about the 3 dioramas that came out?
Yeah, so those are pretty good. I'd say some of them are stronger than others. I think Yoda's hut is my favorite of those, but the other ones are. I can see why there's a little bit of controversy, maybe some critiques going on, because it's like they're not cheap. They're not great. They're priced. And what you're getting is like a little bit, I don't know, it's a different take on a Lego set. It's a lot more landscape and grounded. It almost looks more like a mock in a way.
Right.
And so I think that has a completely different price bracket than just a little hallway and some figures. You know, it's like, it changes it up a little bit. It's interesting.
And with the trash compactor set, you get, 6 minifigs with that?
So it's a lot. That price adds up quick for that.
Sure. And I mean, that I like the way that set looks. I like the hut a lot better.
Yeah, Yoda's hut is really
Yoda's hut is awesome. Now, as far as some of the other sets coming out, what about the goat boat?
Goat boat looks really good. I've seen people already get it and build it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get one of those too, at least just to experiment. I'm also looking forward to that movie now too. The latest trailer was really quite entertaining, so I think that movie's gonna be really good too. So it'll probably be one of my first Marvel sets to actually keep together.
Okay.
Because I've gotten a few Guardians of the Galaxy sets in the past, but they didn't last very long. I kept the figures, but this I think is going to be like, I actually may want to keep this set for its purpose. Right. You know, so it's very different from my usual junk bins. Yeah.
Now, what about Starry Night?
Starry Night, that one is, I think it's a really amazing set. It's not what I would typically get as far as Lego sets, though. I don't have a ton more display space. So I'm probably going to pass on Starry Night. However, I think it's a great direction to go in because people are super excited about it. Van Gogh is an amazingly popular artist even to this day. And so it's seeing that kind of high art and adult-centered Lego icons, I think they're calling it now.
Right.
It's like that is a really good direction to take. I think people are really going to relate to that and want to get that. So I'm excited to see sets like that come out, even if it's not necessarily my type. So
okay. Yeah. Any other sets that are really prominent in your mind right now
I just built one, and I'm going to keep it, which is really weird. But the Horizon Zero Dawn set. Video games. Yes, the tall neck.
The tall neck,
I played Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time. I think it was late last year, just on my computer, because it's normally on PlayStation. So it takes a while for it to get to computer. Anyway, played the game. It was amazing. And my friend Isaac Snyder actually designed the set.
Okay.
And so when he's like, oh, I designed this set. I'm like, whoa. First of all, it's one of my favorite games. Secondly, that's a really cool set, and it's designed by my friend. So I got it. It's like midnight as soon as it was available, and built it right away. And it was a really good set. So that one is actually on display right in front of my TV right now at home.
Okay.
And so that's another different direction for Lego. They do cover some video games, but not a lot. So to see them cover a more older, it's like a PG-13 game. It's more for adults than for kids. And so seeing that kind of recognition is really encouraging for me to see that. So,
what's your take on the Optimus Prime?
I think it's really good. It's a little small, especially compared to Voltron from a few years prior. Voltron's a lot bigger, so could be a critique. However, I like that they're going for the classic '80s one because I know the movies are cool and all, but I think that most people like Optimus Prime because they watched it as cartoons as kids, and then it's carried on, and so there's nostalgia there, So I overall, I think it's a great set. It's not one that I'm going to get because I didn't grow up with Transformers, but I think it's a great direction.
See, I like the set, but I'm a little bit opposite of you. Of course, I watch the movies because of the cartoon.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to when you look at Optimus Prime as the cartoon character, and then the one one that they
The big
generated.
futuristic one, yeah.
Right.
So,
I wish they kind of went
Mhm.
that way with it.
that would be a cooler Lego set, maybe. Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot neater looking, a lot
Mhm.
nicer. But am I going to get it? Yes, I'll probably end up getting it. Am I going to build it? Probably not.
There you go. Keep it in
I'll
the box.
probably just keep it in the box and set it on the shelf,
Mhm.
and that way it's like, okay, if it jumps, I've got it. You know,
Mhm.
great. You know, if
Yeah.
not, I still like it. It's cool, but I think I'll
Mhm.
just end up leaving that one in the box.
Exactly.
So we mentioned Star Wars. Going back to the dioramas that was designed,
Mm-hmm.
the Death Star trench run.
Mm.
What's your first thoughts on that?
First thoughts is why? But looking at, I can understand. It's one of the more iconic scenes from
Right.
Star Wars. They even recreated it in the sequel trilogy. But yeah, it's definitely deserving of a creation. I'm not 100% sure about the layout and how is it. I think it could have been cleaned up a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, there's a couple of different vibe checks that doesn't pass for me. But
One of the things that I told my wife when we first saw it was, and I didn't know it was a Lego set at the time. I didn't see the banner on it. I just saw the picture.
Yeah.
I said, somebody made a miniature version of Martin Harris's.
Yeah. That's
trench
also what it
run.
looks like.
And
Yes.
it's like, they didn't even give the guy a shout out. I said, come on, you know.
Yeah,
And then
you're right. You're
I
right.
started looking. It's like, no, that's a Lego set now.
Yep.
I said, you got to be kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, here he is traveling from show to show with this big piece that's simply awesome if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Definitely took it up. Yeah.
And it's like, then they got this miniature version. It's like, no, come on.
It's not quite doing it justice as much as Martin is,
Martin,
right? So yeah,
right,
so,
you know,
yeah.
and that's one of those things. It's like, yeah, it's neat, but no,
That's definitely a pass for me. Yeah, and I like most Star Wars stuff, but that one I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
me that was just kind of, I don't know.
Fun note: Lego does tend to copy cool things that they see. There was a lot of controversy with the Stranger Things upside down set.
That's
That
right.
was actually developed by a builder, and they made a mock like that at Brick World, and then a couple months later, Lego comes out with a set like that, and then
No.
the tiger from the creator sets. It's very much, I think it's completely copied the Australia Lego Masters Season 3 finale
Right.
build, which is a beautiful tiger, or it wasn't finale build. They had a beautiful tiger sculpture. And then about 4 to 6 months later, there's
There's
tiger
that
set,
tiger.
just a little smaller. So it's like Lego is smart and realizes when they see a good creation. I just wish they would give people a nod of credit, you know?
Right,
So, yeah.
and that's what I told my wife about the trench run. It's like they could at least gave Martin a little nod.
I
there.
definitely see that connection now that you mentioned
Yeah,
it.
I
but
mean,
yeah,
if,
so-
once you look at theirs and you go back and you recall what he had built,
yeah, exactly.
Martin's is a lot better.
Exactly. Yeah. Go look at pictures of Martins, and then you'll be like, yeah, I think I'll pass on that one.
Yeah,
I'll just buy
yeah.
a bunch of gray bricks and make your own take on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So with all the sets coming out, what about the minifigs?
There's some pretty cool minifigures coming up. I know that I'm not as huge a fan of Marvel minifigures yet. So
Okay.
like the Goat Boat, for example, we talked about that one. The figures look pretty cool. They'll probably mean more to me once I see the movie.
Right.
That's how a lot of those licensed sets go. But I know that the Viking figures and the Creator Viking ship, they actually look great. They have
Right.
unique printing, all that stuff. So looking forward to those for sure. So overall, and like the Star Wars ones, I just got the Republic battle tank set. I got a couple of those in the mail, and the figures are great. The tank,
Not so
not
much.
so great, but guess what? The figures are amazing, and there's like 4 of them. So it's like, like for the figures alone, these sets are worth it. Even if we have our critiques with some of them which are less thought through than others.
Right.
But yeah, so overall, I think I'm really looking forward to the minifigures. I am getting into them more than I was. I actually have all my Star Wars figures on display now.
Okay.
In contrast to being in a bin with other pieces. So yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's some of your favorite minifigs?
Generally I like castle figures, but I also like fantasy figures, a lot of CMFs, especially Greek and Roman style ones.
Okay.
So there was a Spartan and a Roman soldier and like mythical characters like the Minotaur and Medusa. So those are like really cool to me. I love history
Okay.
and mythology and all that stuff. So seeing those is really great. I wish they would do more, and they are doing more, so it's great.
Okay.
But lots of cool minifigures for sure.
What about in the shop right now currently?
In the shop, yeah, we've got a bunch of them. We got Castle, we've got Space. We can go take a look at them if you like.
Hey, let's do that.
Sounds good. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Alright, so here is the castle section. This is probably my favorite section of minifigures. I'm a castle fan to the core. And so some of my favorites I gotta point out here are this Jousting Knight. He's from the older 70s era sets. He's got that really cool quarter shield print, and he's got his squires next to him. Directly above him, you'll see that Golden Knight. He is a very special one. He only came in one set back in, I want to say, 2007 or 8. And very cool. You don't see a lot of golden armor for many of these minifigures, so he's special. As are all these Black Falcon Knights, some of the more popular factions of the old classic castle sets from the 80s. So many cool figures in here. I wish I had them all, but I've got a couple at home that keep me entertained for sure. Alrighty, so here we have the classic space minifigures, and they are some of my favorites right behind Castle. Like particularly the UFO Alien Commander. He is a really cool, unique figure. Has unique armor, unique helmet. Everything about him is very special. I think he came in 2 different sets. You've also got just above him the Explorian droid. Has a super unique transparent head. Really cool printing on his torso and legs. Leg printing was pretty rare back in the 80s and 90s, so that's really cool to see. You've also got some very cool Spirus, Ice Planet, Space Police, a whole bunch of amazing themes that dropped in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. A little bit before my time, but I'm able to collect most of them through here, so it's pretty awesome. Alright, and over here we have the awesome Harry Potter case of figures and sets. And some of my favorites are actually the fact that we have so many Harry Potter minifigures to choose from. Basically every possible scene and outfit we've got Harry for, so it's pretty awesome. And you got all the different, not only the newer ones, which are fantastic, but you also have the old school ones with the yellow tone skin, so it's really cool to see those classic, iconic figures. And here in the Star Wars case, we have some of our more popular minifigures, especially clone troopers. You've got a lot of 501st, you've got Phase 1 from all the various regiments and departments of the Republic. You've also got the ever iconic stormtroopers up there. And aside from the soldiers of the galaxy, you have a lot of the really cool bounty hunters and aliens just below on the shelves down here. The Mandalorians in particular are super popular. You have the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, you have Boba Fett, you have even some Jango Fetts over on the left. So very cool figures. And over here we keep all of our really rare and collectible figures, such as Comic-Con figures. So we've got a couple of them really special ones up here. My favorite one that we have left, we've sold a lot of them, is the black costume Superman. He is just really menacing looking. And below those you have some rare Lord of the Rings and Star Wars figures, as well as this one. This is probably our rarest figure yet. He's one of a kind, super special. He's literally priceless, so we didn't even put a price on it. You have to make an offer. You have to be one of our high rollers, you know. So really cool figure. We're really proud of that one. So.
All right. Well, thanks for the tour.
Absolutely, Tim. It was great to show off all those really cool figures.
Those are some awesome minifigs, and especially that one at the end. That was pretty cool.
It's the rarest one we've got. Only one of just a few that are produced so far.
There you go. Yeah. So maybe you guys can pick him up down here. I don't know.
I don't know. We might have him eventually. We'll see. I know we got that one. So.
Well, thanks for being on the channel again.
Absolutely,
I appreciate it. You and your brother both. Guys, Mark and Steven are truly outstanding people. Very polite, very personable, just all in all great guys. So
thank you, Tim. That's all. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being on the channel, and guys, we'll see you next Friday. See ya.